Hello, everybody. This is KMN 1971, back with an old-fashioned comic book haul. I've been doing my comic book collection spotlight series over the past couple of weeks, but I have accrued, a little over 40-something books, so I figured it was time for a comic book haul video. Get some of this stuff out of there, so I can start filing some of this stuff away. And nothing major in this week's haul. The most expensive book I bought was like $30. So yeah, I concentrated on just, this is kind of just like a fun haul. A bunch of minor first appearances, a bunch of covers that I've wanted, basically the habits that I've been trying to stay away from. I've been trying to focus in on like some major Bronze and Silver Age keys, but I just went for bulk these past couple of weeks. A lot of stuff that's been on my list and I just wanted to scratch off. So, getting on with it, Dark Knight's #1, Dark Knight's Metal #1. Great stuff. Love the team like many of us do of Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. Nothing like them on a Back on Batman, doing a Batman-centric DC wide-line crossover. So far, so good, so awesome. Love the last page. It's been a long time as an old-school comic book collector where I get like totally surprised out of left field in a positive way when I hit the last page of a comic, and this one did that completely. So, psyched for the next issue, psyched for the possibilities down the road, and we'll get into it a little bit more later on in the video. Alright, moving on. The Defenders #1. Why did I buy this, considering that I have not been the biggest fan of Brian Bendis for a little while now? Well, I did binge watch the Defenders Netflix series, so I wanted the first appearance of the Netflix era iteration of the Defenders. So, pick this up. And I have to say, the artwork inside is really nice. I haven't read it as of yet, but it looks pretty good. That much I can say. And as far as the Netflix Defender series goes, no spoilers, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I enjoyed it enough to binge watch it over the course of 2 days and one weekend. So, and I did like the way it set up the next season of Alias and Daredevil. And I almost hope that they end up combining Luke Cage and the Iron Fist shows into one, maybe like a Heroes for Hire, because I think both of those characters on their own really can't support a series, but together that would be something pretty interesting. But Defenders #1. Very late to the party. Venom #151, the Mary Jane variant, and beautiful cover. I didn't want to spend over cover price, so one of these ended up popping up at my local comic book shop where I pick up my weekly pull list, so I picked it up just this week. Cover price minus 20%, so pretty cool. Love the cover. Some dollar bin stuff. Birds of Prey #32, and these next three books will be the last 3 issues of Birds of Prey. So obviously low print run. And it involves a story arc where it's basically the Birds of Prey versus the Suicide Squad. So, as we all know, Harley Quinn appearances, or rather like abstract Harley Quinn appearances and low print runs, usually tend to do well on the back market after a while. So I didn't even know about these, and these don't go for anything right now. But what was the print run on Birds of Prey right before it was canceled? It couldn't be big. So as a Harley fan, I figured for $1, why not? And it wasn't that bad of a story arc either, and the artwork was pretty good. So, better than, well, yeah, not bad. So, and check out that provocative fighting style between Batgirl and Harley. What's up with that? So, Birds of Prey #32. #33 with Black Canary versus the slim fast version of Amanda Waller. And the last issue of the series, #34. So, for $3, why not? Another book that I bought solely for the cover. Well, actually, I have the standard version of this also, but I somehow missed out on the Neil Adams variant cover that came out during Neil Adams Variant Month, where he was basically homaging some of his own classic covers. So this was an homage, obviously, to that issue of Strange Adventures, that Dead Man cover. And all the faces in the background are actually all people that have worked at DC Comics, the creative talent that's worked at DC Comics over the years. And one thing that I did find odd about this cover was it does feature somewhere on here Marv Wolfman, but one creator that was not listed on this cover was George Perez, the co-creator of Deathstroke. So I thought that was a little odd. But Very cool. Neil Adams fan, Deathstroke fan, and this is the first time that Neil Adams has ever illustrated Deathstroke. So, I had to have it. Once again, cover price minus 20%. Star-Lord #2 from his first volume. First appearance of the Ravagers, or rather the Marvel Cinematic version of the Ravagers. So, didn't know about this book either. Popped up on a CBSI article probably, I don't know, probably about a month ago. So, first appearance, dirt cheap, Guardians of the Galaxy, totally my MO. Fantastic Four #50 or number 479, whichever, and this really stretches what constitutes as a first appearance. This is the first appearance, allegedly, of Valerie Richards, and but she's still in the womb, so I didn't think we could go any further than like baby first appearances. Like examples would be like, say, John Kent or Hope Summers, Cable, but now we're going straight to the fetal stage now. So, but I bought it. Death's Head 2, #1, the first appearance of the second Death's Head, who this book saw a slight bump right before the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 movie hit. There was a lot of speculation that this character was going to make an appearance in the movie. Never happened, but it's still a first appearance, only $3. I never really liked this character back in the 90s. He just seemed like Marvel's really bad answer to Lobo. I mean, Lobo would say frag, and Death's Head would say frax. So, I don't know. It didn't really last long. But first appearance, $3. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if he did end up making an appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, particularly on the cosmic side. So, you never know. Let's keep on trudging through the 1990s. Here's the Amazing Spider-Man Annual #25, which cover to cover is just 90s Drek artwork. Much like the last Eclipse that just passed, do not look at this comic for too long directly or it might do permanent damage. So, it was only $2, but why did I pick this up? I ended up watching a YouTube video probably well over a month ago where I ended up getting the 401 that this actually contains the first Venom solo story. So, I thought that was pretty cool. I'm sorry, I can't remember who actually posted that video. It was a while ago. But yeah, just for the historical significance, Venom's first solo story, yeah, I had to have it. Especially with a Venom movie coming around down the pike, which might be good, might be bad, who knows. But yeah, so first Venom solo story, $2 hauler. Why not? Daredevil and Batman, another of those Batman cross-company crossovers off of my list. So this book was actually severely overpriced at the Rhode Island Comic Con like a couple of years ago. A couple of vendors had this up on their wall for $25. Like, holy price gouging, jeez. I ended up picking this up for $6. I can see this going for like maybe $10 tops in a high grade like this, but very happy to pick this up. Out of all of those Batman cross-company crossovers, this one was a little bit on the elusive side. Here's a book that I'm very happy to add back into my collection. I used to own this book back in my preteen days, but this is Pacific Presents #1, featuring the Rocketeer, which is beautifully illustrated by Dave Stevens on the inside also. So, and it also contains The Missing Man by Steve Ditko, which I don't really care about, but The Rocketeer by Dave Stevens, one of my favorite artists from the 1980s that was taken way too soon, but very happy to add this back into my collection. It was only like $3. Doesn't go for much either, but love it. Another early indie copper age book, Timothy Truman's Scout #1, first appearance of Scout, and another book that I used to own. I was a fan of Tim Truman back in the 80s, early 90s, with his work on Grimjack, as well, and especially his awesome 3-part Hawkworld miniseries. So this is a book that I used to own, but I believe it was bi-monthly, and back in when I was a youngster, 2 months seemed like an eternity to go by, so I probably just lost interest in this title. But very happy to pick it up. I think it was in a Comic Quarter 410 video that he stated that this book has, well, this comic book property has been optioned for either a TV series or a movie. I'm not sure which, but pretty cool. Conan number 219 and Conan number 218. So what's the deal with these two? Aside from me being an obvious Conan the Barbarian fan. But these are two books that, these two covers feature very early artwork from some cat named Jim Lee. So Conan, one of my all-time favorite characters, drawn by Jim Lee, my all-time favorite artist. No brainers for me. I was hoping to pick these up in dollar bins, but never came across them, so I ended up paying like $3 a piece. Really high grade. Don't go for much, but as a diehard Conan fan and a diehard Jim Lee fan, I've come to the conclusion that most likely I will never see a Conan the Barbarian Jim Lee illustrated story. So these covers are as close as I'll probably ever get. So he also did another cover in the like late 200s where it has Conan facing off against Red Sonja that I also have and is definitely worth picking up. So pretty cool. The New Mutants, number 88, which is the second full appearance of Cable. I've seen an uptick in the interest of second appearances over the past like 2 years or so. So this is another book that I used to own way back in the day. I sold it when it was quote-unquote hot. And it had a long, hard fall. It was dollar bin fodder for a while, and now it's seen a little bit of a resurgence. And who knows, after Deadpool 2 comes out, anything's possible. But either way, I'm happy to have it back in my collection, just for the fact that this has inks from Todd McFarlane over the Rob Liefeld pencils. So pretty cool. I'm going to stop saying pretty cool one of these days. Daredevil, Man Without Fear, number 252. I was reading on the Google page that this, well, someone posted about this on the Google page, that this contains the first appearance of the character that would eventually become Typhoid Mary. And sure enough, I kind of look at it as more of like a cameo. Maybe it's a first full appearance, I don't know. But there's been a little speculation in regards to the character of Typhoid Mary. She might be the antagonist for the upcoming season of Alias, or hell, I'd love to see her in the upcoming season of Daredevil, either or. Great character. So if you already have her first appearance, wouldn't hurt to have number 252, either her first appearance before she became Typhoid Mary. And it can be found anywhere on the cheap, including online. Another minor first appearance that's been making its rounds on YouTube as of lately. Iron Man number 219, which features the first appearance of the Ghost, who will be the main antagonist in the upcoming AntMan and Wasp movie. So, picked it up for $5. Another one that I was scouring dollar bins for, but couldn't find it. So, happy to have it now. Marvel Age number 12, which features an early prototype of Spider-Man's black suit that he gets in Secret Wars. Basically, the same version that, well, the same version that we know is shown in here. The only difference being is the spider emblem that's on his chest is red instead of white. It actually kind of reminded me of Miles Morales a little bit. A prototype of one of his costumes all the way back then. So, pretty cool. Actually, never knew about it. And these Marvel Ages, I don't consider any of these like first appearances, but for the historical significance, and I just like them. So, very cool. And I found a nice little stash at one of my comic book shops, and they're all like $3 a piece. So, no brainers. All right. Moon Knight number 29. And Moon Knight number 30. As some of you may know, I am a bit of a Werewolf by Night fan. So this is a two-parter of Werewolf by Night versus Moon Knight, and it is illustrated by Bill Sienkiewicz. So these books don't really go for much, but tough black covers, Werewolf by Night versus Moon Knight, drawn by Bill Sienkiewicz. I had to have them. They were only like $3 or $4 a piece, and I think that's what they go for. But you can probably find them cheaper elsewhere. Sticking with the Moon Knight theme, Amazing Spider-Man number 220. And this is just another one of those covers that I've always wanted. This isn't the first time that Spider-Man ran into Moon Knight. That happened in an issue of Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man, which I also own. But I've always loved this kick-ass Bob Layton cover. So, they had a half price sale at one of my comic book shops where basically I go there for supplies. And they didn't really have anything there that I wanted, but I didn't want to walk out empty-handed, so I picked this up for like $2, as well as another book that you'll see later on in this haul. All right. A little bit more Moon Knight, Marvel Spotlight, number 29. I was kind of kicking myself in the butt for not picking this up a couple of weeks ago when I picked up number 28, because this was only like $5. And this is only the second time that Moon Knight has had his own comic book, so very early Moon Knight stuff. Continuing on in the Bronze Age. I can't go hauling without getting a little bit of Bronze Age horror here and there, so Tomb of Dracula, number 32. No real significance about this book, just another one off of my Tomb of Dracula list, trying to collect the whole series again. And this is very fine to near mint minus condition, and it was only like $5. I also picked up, on the same day, Swamp Thing number 9 from Swamp Thing Volume 1. And in my opinion, this is the most iconic Bernie Wrightson Swamp Thing cover. I just love this cover. Before Alan Moore hit the scene, when I thought of Swamp Thing, I thought of this cover. That's just done to perfection by the late great master of horror himself, Bernie Wrightson. Beautiful stuff. The only thing wrong with this is like it feels like something was put on this comic, because it doesn't sit straight. It's not water damage. It's more like from an impact of something. So it's a little wavy at the bottom. Hopefully I can get that press. If I can, this is a very fine plus all day long. So happy to pick those two up. Fantastic Four, number 205. You know, if Marvel will not promote the Fantastic Four, I guess I'll have to do it on every time I have a comic book haul. So, Fantastic Four, number 205. This is allegedly the first full appearance of the Nova Corps. So, I'd like to get 204 also. I guess that's the cameo appearance. But yeah, you don't have to twist my arm to grab a Fantastic Four Bronze Age comic at all. So, happy to pick that up. As well as this. Fantastic Four, number 122. And this is just like it doesn't look good. It's just not a nice. That's an ugly cover. I hate to say that, but it just is, which surprises me because most of the Fantastic Four covers from the Marvel Bronze Age are just awesome. So maybe this was a deadline thing. I don't know. But this was the last part of the Silver Surfer Galactus 3-part story that also features Richard Nixon. That I needed. I already had 121, I had 123, so needed 122. I picked this up for like $8 yesterday, actually. Power Man and Iron Fist, number 57, and this features a guest appearance from the Uncanny XMen. So if you're collecting the Power Man and Iron Fist series, you'll notice that like only 5 issues of that entire run garner any kind of like cash. So the only ones that are really worth anything are issue 50, of course, the 3 early Sabretooth appearances, and for some reason this comic right here goes for more than the majority of the run, which I can't understand why. From what I understand, it's just an Uncanny X-Men guest starring appearance. It doesn't even feature Wolverine either, so I don't know, but I was happy to pick it up. This is like very fine plus condition, maybe even near mint minus for like $5. Good deal. This was the other book that I picked up from that LCS that was having the half-price sale. And I picked this up for like $10. And this was a wall book, so I thought it was probably a fine to fine minus condition for $10. But that would have been, and I would have been cool with that. But unfortunately, when I took it out of the My Light, I noticed that it had a crease that goes all the way down the cover. So that would probably put it to a VG. So a little upsetting about that, especially how could you put that up on the wall like that? So I don't know, whatever. It's just a placeholder right now, but it was just another. Well, I got to chip away at my Iron Fist Volume 1 run, which I chipped quite a bit off in this haul, as you'll see. So that's Iron Fist number 15, a VG, at the another comic book shop, the one that I've been nibbling away at that awesome collection for the past several months. This wasn't part of that collection, but it was chilling in one of his long boxes. Iron Fist number 9. This would probably, and this copy looks great. It has a couple of spine ticks, but the main issue is the back cover. It has a small chip off the back cover, so probably, I don't know, like a 5.5. But for $5, can't complain. But the best chunk that I took out of that Iron Fist run actually came from eBay, and the best deal. I ended up getting 6 issues for like $38 shipped, which is a little over $6 an issue. And I don't have much of a variety to choose from in my area when it comes to Iron Fist Volume 1. So I was very happy to pick all of these books up for a little over $6. Issues 4 through 7 are probably like fine to fine plus condition, and issues 2 and 3 are very fine plus condition. So I was very happy with this lot. So here's number 6. I ended up getting a second copy. Oh, well, actually, here's number 7. I ended up getting a second copy of number 6. Number 5. Four. Number 3. And number 2. Just number 2 and 3 in like very fine condition in my area would probably run me like $50. So that was an actual good deal on eBay. I'm real happy with that. And with those issues, I think I need only like 3 more issues to complete that 15-issue run, which would be pretty cool. Okay, I kicked off this haul with Dark Knight's Metal. So, for anyone that has not read that yet, please skip ahead until you do not see this comic on your screen. Okay? Because there will be spoilers coming. So, Sandman number 69, as we all know from the last page of Dark Knight's Metal, we get a reappearance of Daniel, the second Sandman. This is the issue where he actually becomes, well, the second Sandman in or the Dreaming. I'm not really sure. This is a run that I've been purchasing, and I'm only up to around like maybe issue 20, so I haven't read ahead yet. But just so you know, this character is kind of like an Adam Warlock type deal that has multiple first appearances. He first appeared in issue number 12 of Sandman as a baby, and then issue 20-something, I can't remember right now, but I do own the book. I haven't read it as of yet. But that's his first appearance as, I guess, just Daniel. And this one right here, in issue number 69, is his first appearance as the Dreaming, or Sandman. So I haven't read this issue yet. Probably won't for a long time until I get caught up. But there's nothing worse when you're buying an awesome run on the cheap, and one of those books out of the run becomes hot all of a sudden. So this book is kind of hot. It's between like, I don't know, like $15, $20, maybe $25 at the worst, with shipping included. So I was still happy to pick it up. This is like near mint condition for $5 at my regular LCS, where I pick up my weekly stash. So very happy to pick this up. And there have been rumors that I've read about that DC is going to be implementing more Sandman characters into the main DC universe, which, if done well, I'm all for it. That sounds awesome. And I did see an Art Germ sketch of Death that looked incredible. So who knows? So Sandman number 69, if you can just dig it up. I think you can still find it on the cheap in the wild, but already on eBay it's already kind of expensive. So very happy to pick this up. Amazing Spider-Man number 529, the first appearance of the Iron Spider suit, which people have speculated on lately because they believe it's going to make an appearance in the Avengers Infinity War movie, which, you know, either way, cool. I passed on this when it initially came out. I did not like the suit, you know. But now, now that it's officially in the rear view, I don't mind it as much. And I'm happy to have it in my Spider-Man collection. Amazing Spider-Man collection, rather. Pretty much a perfect copy, except for some like production waviness, like right there. So hopefully I could get that pressed out. If I could, this is pretty much near mint. So very happy to pick this up. This is another book that can run you between, I don't know, what, $15, $25. I picked it up for like $8. Thor number 169, and this is just classic stuff. This is the second part of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's Origin of Galactus. Yes. I'm embarrassed that it took me this long to get this into my collection. This is just something that anyone that loves comic books, the medium, this should definitely be in your collection. Very happy to pick this up. So I picked up 168 and 169 for a grand total of like maybe $45, and they're straight up like fine plus condition. to maybe, nah, I can't go very fine, but definitely fine plus. No ticks, no dog ears, so I'm happy with it. Of course, the Galactus silhouette could be a little whiter, but whatever. I only paid like $20 for this, so. This I thought was a sweet deal until I opened it up. Detective Comics number 355. Nothing significant about it. It's just a very old book. It's from the Silver Age, and sports a Carmine Infantino cover. I thought this was probably fine minus for only $7. I was psyched to pick this up. I don't really have, even though I'm a huge Batman fan, I don't have a lot of Batman Silver Age. So I was psyched to pick this up, picked it up. Looked good, tight staples, everything's good on it except for the back cover. The back cover features a subscription crease that goes all the way down. So I don't know if that would drop it down to like maybe a 5.0 or even a VG+, but still, for $7, Silver Age Detective Comics, awesome. And the most expensive book in this run, or this haul rather, Detective Comics number 373, and this features the second appearance of Mr. Freeze, but it's the first time that he's actually referred to as Mr. Freeze. So as a Bat geek, I had to pick this up. Really nice condition, no real spine ticks, no dog ears. The main issue is it does have a slight chip on the cover right there, but other than that, beautiful copy, beautiful. And I'll admit, I did think this was the first appearance of Mr. Freeze. So only his second appearance, but still very happy to have it. Very welcome addition to my Batman collection, no doubt. So that's all I have for this week. I will be back next week with the third installment of my comic book collection spotlight, focusing in on my minor DC keys and first appearances. And I just want to say real quickly, thank you all for watching, subscribing, commenting, all that good comic book stew as usual. This video marks my 1-year YouTuberversary. I have been watching comic book videos on YouTube for the past 5 years, but I didn't become an official YouTuber until I started making my own videos. So this will be my 50-second video. I first started shooting videos in September 1st of last year, and it's been great. Great little extension of the hobby. I've talked to some really cool people. I've learned quite a bit. So let's see what the next year brings. I don't know if I'll be able to continue almost like on a weekly basis, a video every single week. I would like to via the comic book collection spotlights, but I know nothing can go on forever. You know, a lot of the YouTubers that I started watching only come out with a video every couple of months now, so there's only so much that you can collect. But until that happens, I'm going to keep on chugging away at these videos. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting this channel. Enjoy a nice long weekend out there. It's kind of a rainy, shitty day here in Massachusetts, but I'd rather have a rainy, shitty day in Massachusetts than a beautiful day at work. So I've been enjoying a 5-day weekend. So enjoy your freedom out there, people. Enjoy your comics. Enjoy each other. Be good. See ya.